Okay. Welcome back to Shaman King 2021. Anime review episode number 6. This is reviewing the 6 episode series Yo versus Horohoro. Yep, that's the name of the episode. Now, this episode mostly adapts from chapters 32 to 38. Yep, 32 to 38. Roughly 7 chapters. Not surprising with this one. Yeah, it just seems as though basically they're just like they would go through like a lot of chapters in just 6 episodes. Like this is something though, like almost 38 chapters in just 6 episodes. Yeah, that's quite something though. This one pretty much is this. It's a little bit different now. They did make some cuts and some alterations here and there when it comes to this particular episode. Like, for instance, his outfit he's wearing. In the manga, it looks like he's wearing a suit and he just came home from school. Not the case of the episode itself. Nope, they actually made a change. He actually changed it where he's wearing a t-shirt. And, of course, the first thing that happens to him, he gets slapped by Anna. Yep, she slaps him. Why? Because she thinks he's having an affair. He's made of the fact he's got this whole device. It's a similar scene presented in the manga, but it's slightly different. And then, of course, we go completely different from presented in the manga. Like, they cut a lot of stuff here from the actual chapters themselves. And they do make a lot of alterations. Like, oh my gosh, they cut a lot of stuff from here. Like, I was rereading the chapters. Like, they presented stuff a little bit more streamlined than they did in the manga. Like, was there any, like, major, like, story progression? Well, they did introduce the Hiro character later in the episode, and he was introduced in the actual manga itself. Yeah, that's simple what they did with it. They pretty much just, well, how should I put this? They introduced when they wanted to have the fight. Well, basically, after the little slapping thing from Anna, then of course you have Menta basically explaining to Yo about the rules of the tournament. This is not exactly what happened in manga. It's like a lot more stuff that happened here. They cut because they want to basically just blast their way to these chapters as quickly as possible. I have to explain all I was going to do when the first round is win 2 out of 3 fights. He's perfectly fine. Excuse me. And he's formed about his first one with Horohoro, which explains about some mystical stuff with him. And then later on, like, they do meet up with him. Oh yeah, and also they debut his brand new attire. Yes. That they actually don't mention that. They actually got some dialogue from Anna here, where they mentioned that she actually spent all night, basically, they mentioned this handmade, and the fact in the manga, she mentioned her fingers turned raw, making this damn thing for Yo. And they have Horohoro shows up. Now, in the manga, he showed a little bit early to this to show off his moves. In the anime, you see him for the first time when he is on top of the building they actually have their fight at. I don't have a problem with this at all. It's not really big of a change for the actual thing here. I mean, it's perfectly fine. Yo gets used at the same time with this character as the viewers do. He is by far the only character. I'd say, yeah, he's probably the only character actually used at the same time. Like when Yo first meets him, that's when the audience first meets him. My guess is the reason why they cut his early appearance is because they didn't want to spoil this guy's debut. I would probably say that when it comes to his appearance per se, it's pretty accurate out within the manga, which kudos for the anime for doing that. And of course his guardian spirit, Kiro, this adorable little thing basically the size of your hand. Yeah, that actually is from the manga too, so no really change for that. Also, the spirit develops attraction to Menta. And of course, he thinks that Menta is the guardian spirit. Nope, it's Asuro. Which in case you're curious though, a lot of the fight basically that happens right afterwards, after they introduce the Oversoul stuff, And of course, explain his backstory, like he'll play this butter pot field, which he does want to do in the manga, and this is something else they mentioned in the actual anime, so kudos for the anime keeping that in. And then they have their fight, and it's pretty much the same. This is actually one thing from the actual manga they actually kept pretty much intact. Yeah, I think there's some minor cuts here and there, but not like really big cuts per se. And oh yeah, and also they do change now. Oh yeah, by the way, before I continue with this, they actually do have it where the guy got killed off last episode. They find them and they have the officials there. In the manga, they actually have something like staying on top of like the wall they're there. In the anime, they're just all on the ground surrounding him, which that's a change in the manga. And of course, they asked why she was not wearing his mask to basically pay respect. Yeah, they actually got the bit where it's about funeral rites. Yep. And of course, they explained it was Tao Ren basically responsible for this. And then he gets a call later on from the big chief. Mostly for this conversation, it's pretty accurate presenting the manga. And then later on during the action fight, so we do see Shiva there with one other person. And this is one thing I thought was quite strange, though, from actually watching from the actual episode itself. They do make some minor cuts here for this particular like witness. The big chief actually witnesses actual battle via his video monitor back in the Shaman village. And here it's not shown. I'm sure they probably were planning to have it, but they probably cut it due to time. But they kept Shiva and his friend from the actual officials, they kept their witnessing it from the actual manga, which good job for the witnessing, keeping that there. And, of course, the fight ends mostly the same. Excuse me, Kira running out of energy, and, of course, Yo being pronounced winner. And then, of course, they have the celebration at Yo's house. They do make a slight wording change to the manga, because in the manga, Riku refers to Yo as Lord O, Lord Yu. In the anime, he refers to him as Boss. And, of course, our superheroes there. And his sister Perka is there too, which this is still pretty much the same here. And then the episode ends with the debut of Faust. Yes, Faust. You might be thinking, Faust? You mean like Felix Faust from DC Comics? No, this is a completely different guy. This guy is quite strange, if I remember him. He is a doctor. Yes, he's an actual doctor. And his guardian spirit is his late wife, who was a nurse. No joke about that. That seriously is true. And I would not be surprised if they kept this in the actual anime itself. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that. Because that's how it was in the manga, so kudos. Yeah. Interesting though, they actually have his debut, like, when we first see him, I can tell this is Faust. Just by looking at him, because I've seen this guy before in the original anime. And the guy was creepy. He was a creepy guy. Like, why would his guardian spirit be his dead wife? He is by far the only one to actually have a loved one as his guardian spirit. It's not somebody he just meets, per se. And they introduce him via show him in a graveyard, which that's a strange place to have him. Yes, Yo does find him next, basically, in the original anime, and I'm sure, I think he did have the original manga too, but I'm sure he'll probably find him next. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Yep, that's what it's called, Form of Courage. That's not what the episode's called. Yep, so yeah, that's it for particular review. Now, the episode itself overall was actually pretty good. I liked it. Yeah, it's obvious though if you reread the actual chapters themselves from 32 to 38, you can definitely tell there was changes here. Oh yes, definitely, like a lot of changes. Mostly like the beginning portion, like a lot of stuff is cut from there. Like the actual fight itself, mostly it's the same, except they make one small cut here with the witnessing a chief. And of course, the ending is spot on from the manga, which good job for him doing that. Yep. Also, there is one other thing they did change here. Here's the thing. In the manga, when they had their fight with Horohoro, it actually is cold outside, and Anna is wearing her winter coat. In the anime, they're not cold at all. It almost seems like they changed the temperature outside. Yeah, because it's quite cold. In the anime, there's no mention of the cold at all, because Anna in the episode is wearing her regular outfit, you know, the long one-piece dress and the Buddhist beads in her headband. Yeah, same exact outfit she always wears. Oh yeah, she also mentioned to me future wife of the Shaman King. Hero thinks it's him, but it's actually Yo. He's like, really? Oh yeah, by the way, they actually do keep in her little brief little punch on Hero for making fun of the outfit that she basically made for Yo, which Yo, you are a lucky guy to have your future wife make that for you. That's basically out of the kindness of her heart to make that damn thing for you. Oh yeah, he didn't like it very much, but he's like he basically didn't know his handmade. Yeah, but it's great though the fact they finally get a chance to wear his training off, because if you notice, like, you watch the anime, his first few fights, he's wearing basically his normal attire, which is the tooth necklace, the white shirt open, the green pants. Well, he still keeps the headphones. Yes, he actually keeps that from the manga too. That's one thing about his attire that really doesn't change very much. Yeah. But otherwise, though, great episode. Can't wait for next week's episode, which will be the 7th episode of the series. Now, in the case of this particular series, as of right now, well, they did mention this particular thing is going to last for 52 episodes. We're at episode 7. So that means we have exactly 45 episodes left. Yep, 45 episodes left. So my guess is it probably finishes up by April of next year. That's probably when we're going to finish the very first season of the series. Now, how far the manga anime will go with that manga, I don't know. I kind of wish they have an episode where they adapt chapters 3, 4, and 5. But who knows, okay? So that's the episode of you. Next week's going to be Comic Corner, and then it'll be the newest episode of How Not the Semi Demon Lord, okay? This is the video. Bye.